I felt a bit on edge in Paris. I must be honest. I did say to one of the crew, I was
just
like,
carrying a lot of gear.
Yeah, and it was just like, and we walked past all these big gangs on the side of the road. I'm like, yeah, all right, mate.
Yeah.
Don't do me.
Yeah. Low lights.
You.
I thought,
spending a week with you.
8 days with you.
8 days with you.
In a Clio.
Yeah.
In a
and you've
tent.
got aircon.
In a
mate,
two-man
next time, get someone with aircon, yeah?
Yeah.
Or I'll just have to get a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Off to Antwerp.
I think it's like 69p.
To interview 2 people and stop over in Amsterdam overnight.
Hello, good morning.
We had 5 interviews. Getting everyone to open up as much as they did was pretty amazing. We, because I tried loads of people in the UK and seeing if they wanted to be a part of it, and instantly like their guards up and they weren't interested. But the ones we've got in Europe has been a right mix, and they've been really, really open and given us loads of great stuff.
We just arrived in Antwerp. Lovely day. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. What are we doing in Antwerp?
So we're here to meet with Frankie. So he's someone that's HIV positive. We're going to get his side of the story and discover his passions today.
I'll give him a ring. Hey Frankie, we think we're pretty much outside, but we can't see number 90. We're outside Volders. Okay, brilliant. See you in a second. Bye-bye. He's on his way. Hey Frankie.
Fine. This is Joe.
What is the purpose of your
The trip.
trip?
Yes. So at the moment, particularly in the UK, I don't know if it's the same here, which is what we're hoping to find out, but when talking about HIV and AIDS, it's very much, put at arm's length, highlighting the differences. What we're hoping to do is highlight the similarities, so for a viewer, it makes it much easier to relate. And it's going beyond the disease. It's much more about the person. Yeah.
So what I saw here in Belgium and probably also in the other worlds is that all the people that are involved in HIV are people that are involved since the beginning. And they have a meaning and they haven't changed. The disease has changed so much and so quickly and it's still changing, but those people haven't changed. So I saw this in 2007 when I made the documentary for television. It was a 40-minute documentary and it was very difficult to give a new look on HIV, and that's why we started with national television. 2 years ago we started filming with 5 people about what is it today living with HIV in Belgium, and I'm very glad that I've done that, because when you get the diagnosis, an HIV diagnosis, you come with the doctors and everybody is talking about the stigma, discrimination and so on. And I'm sure it was like that many years ago, but today it's not the same anymore. I have all the people here that are living around me, the hairdresser, the people downstairs, everybody knows that I'm HIV and no one has a problem with that.
Yeah. I mean, I knew some of the stats behind it, but until you get a chance to chat to someone who's experienced it.
It's actually, it's like...
And the things they were telling us as well, you wouldn't expect them to sort of share that with you, which was difficult at times, but I think it would make for a good documentary.
I personally found it quite difficult. Some of the things that they were saying, I found it like quite emotional.
Could you explain, we're stood in front of this wall here, do you mind just explaining what this represents?
Yes,
and the writing on the wall?
The monument in remembrance of all the people who have died in the city of Frankfurt on AIDS. Each name stands for one person who has died over the years here. It's about 800 on the whole wall who have died here on AIDS. And it says here in German, verletzte Liebe, hurt love. It means that somebody was always there who loves the person who died. That's the meaning behind it.
And did you know, you mentioned that you know some of the people that...
No, I didn't know some. I knew quite a lot. Yes. I've lost in Frankfurt over the years about 100 friends on HIV and AIDS. In the old days, in the 80s, before treatment became available.
Do you remember the moment when you discovered
that you weren't going to die? You remember your emotions, and was there a precise moment?
Well, I must say, when I got my diagnosis, I was already sick more than 1 year. And I went more than 10 times to the doctor with all diseases like stomach pain, hair loss, skin infections and so on. Well, the moment that I got my diagnosis, like most of the people, I didn't know a lot about HIV. I knew that there was a disease, and I saw all the movies every year the 1st of December. And then the doctor said to me, you have AIDS in stadium C3, so this is the final stadium of AIDS, final stage of AIDS. So I thought I was going to die. Yes, it affected me, and this side I had 3 companies, so I went to a lawyer, I said I have 3 companies and I'm dying, so I shut up all my companies. And then finally I started taking medication. During months I was not feeling very well. Everybody was telling me that it's a disease, it's better not to tell people because you will be stigmatized, you will be discriminated, and so on. So naturally, I was worried. I said, what the hell is going to happen here with me? But after a few months, after 6 months, 9 months, I was getting better with the medication. And then with the right information, talking with my doctor, I said, I'm going to live. But I changed all my life now. And in that way, it has affected me a lot, because if I had known then what I know today, I wouldn't have stopped my companies. I would have continued and taken a break for a few months, and that's it.
The moment when treatment became available, do you remember that moment and how that then changed your life?
Of course I do, because I moved to San Francisco to get treatment.
Okay.
There was no treatment in Europe at that time. People died like flies. And I figured out, if I don't do something on my own, I'm going to die soon too. So I started to do something. I will never forget, I went to University of California in San Francisco. I went in there and said, here, listen, I'm HIV positive, give me some treatment. They looked at me like, what idiot is that? Huh? But there was nothing available. It took about 2 years until it was available here.
Yeah.
It changed my life in a way that I started to feel really bad because of the treatment. We didn't know how to take the pills right, or the 1 pill at the time.
Yeah.
I took way too much. Now I know. Now I take 5 pills a day, 6 pills. I had a time where I took about 72 pills.
A day?
A day. Every day.
It was a great stepping stone to sort of help along that journey, is to find out closer to home what difference the treatment makes, and begin to open people's eyes to what happens when you can provide treatment.
Bon, alors j'ai été contaminé par le VIH il y a 20 ans, en 1992. Et mon historique, c'est que je suis toujours vivant aujourd'hui. Ce qui n'était pas prévu.
We've been to New York in October, beginning of November 1995. Like 6 or 8 weeks later, I had a very, very strange sickness that took 2 or 3 days, and where I also had spots that looked like a Kaposi sarcoma. That was very, very bizarre, like violet spots all over my face.
Rosario Iardino, sono il presidente onorario di NPS Italia Onlus. Sono HIV positiva da 30 anni.
And at the time that you contracted HIV, was treatment available?
Solo uno, la ZT, che dava fortissime neuropatie, e io non le ho prese. Io non ho preso farmaci fino al 98.
Very scary. And I said to my boyfriend, listen, look at me. Now it's time to go to the test. And he was starting to die end of August 1996. And he died on the 18th of December. Yeah, so when I have caught it, when I think I've caught it already, this was already the moment where the treatment was available.
L'époque a vraiment changé. Il y a vraiment 2 époques au sida. Il y a l'époque d'avant 1996 et celle d'après. C'est plus le même qu'avant. J'ai vécu 2 histoires finalement, quoi. Celle avant, l'arrivée des trithérapies, et celle après. Ça fait une énorme différence.
maybe if 2 days before the treatment was found, I would have been told, gentlemen, you're HIV positive. You know what it means, so it might have, my perception and the how do you say, the drastic moment, like this like really brutal news, would have been totally affecting my entire perception. But in this very case, I was, even if it sounds a bit satanic or cynic, but I was lucky, you know.
Depuis 1996, je sais que je vais vivre. Depuis l'arrivée des trithérapies, je sais que je vais vivre. C'est ça la différence avec avant. Ça a tout changé.
Si vive più a lungo, però la qualità della vita è un po' peggiorata. Non si muore più, però bisogna gestire un trattamento molto pesante. Quindi lipodistrofia, problemi cardiovascolari, problemi di tumore fanno sì che noi sopravviviamo all'HIV. Ora dobbiamo sopravvivere alle altre patologie. No? Quindi finché non ci sarà un vaccino non si potrà dire che l'HIV è dominato.
One of the interesting things was when people, the ones that we talked to that had HIV before treatment became available, and then their reaction after it, there was like huge difference. So before it was like, I'm living day to day. I don't know what's happening tomorrow, so I'm just going to live. I'm not planning anything, not setting up any sort of projects or anything like that. And then as soon as treatment came in, they started getting on and planning the rest of their life really, which I guess was a massive moment for people. I think that was 1996. But we never came in with any sort of preconceived ideas of what HIV was and what AIDS was and how you should react and all that sort of stuff. So that's been really good because we were so sort of ignorant to everything. It just meant we could just listen to people rather than, coming in with any judgment or anything like that.
We have AIDS Memorial Day, for instance, every year. It's good to remember all those people that were dying from HIV, but it has been 15 years. People are not dying anymore in Europe, I say, in Europe. I hope to raise money enough in the world so that people understand that we have to help other people in the lower income countries to get their medication, also to have a fulfilling life and so on.